Ladies and gentlemen, SideStrafe back with another dose of the DayZ mod for ArmA 2. And this one is actually pre-recorded, so I'm just giving you some post-commentary here on some of my adventures for the night. And that's right, it is getting dark on this server, as this one I believe was a European server, not 100%, but obviously it was more so daytime for me when I was recording this, so we could tell that. I really couldn't get on too many other servers as they're usually jam-packed. And I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about how a lot of you have been requesting that I do a Let's Play for this mod. And I'm going to try, so that's the good news. The bad news is, obviously, it's an alpha mod. Servers are usually jam-packed, and there's a lot of bugs. So it's not going to be the easiest Let's Play to do. And, of course, it's the type of game that requires some sort of cooperation from real players, and there's a lot of player killing, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll try it. I'll do a test run, and we'll go from there. However, most of the time I probably will do live commentary with not much editing. Definitely let me know what you think about that, or whether you prefer something that might be edited and kind of just fast forwards to the maybe more interesting parts. Right now I'm still thinking I kind of just want to go live, because that way you can capture the feel of the moment as you play the game. It's a little bit more intense, I think, for me and you as the audience. So let me know what you think about that. But actually, back to the game at hand. As you can see, I'm in a town which I think people call Electro for short. And towns, again, can be quite deadly, especially at night. But as you can see here, I've actually come across a body. And I believe this is a player body, because from what I've read, the fly buzzing around sound effect, shots fired that you can hear there, the fly buzzing around sound effect only happens to player bodies. And I'm just kind of looking at some of this stuff, and really it wasn't of too much interest to me. So I think at the time I didn't really pick it up because I was worried about my space. And in hindsight, I probably should have picked it up anyway, because this is, after all, a survival game. But you might also note that I actually have some new equipment and stuff that I found prior to this. I haven't played too much, but prior to this, I had found another body just laying out in the field, middle of the field. Must have been killed by zombies, because you can hear more shots in the distance as we get closer. Must have been killed by zombies, because he still had full loot. He had this rifle on him, ammunition and food and supplies that I managed to take off of him. So I was a happy camper. But of course, there's always the possibility of losing it all. So here I'm just happening upon another building that has a couple of rooms in it and some more debris here, but it just seems to be junk. Now I'm at the time that I'm doing this, I'm really worried about the shots being fired in the distance. You know, is it a zombie attack? Is it player versus player? Those are the thoughts that are crossing my mind as we continue on. And as you can see there in the distance, as I head further through the town, kind of trying to make my way towards the church, I obviously see that that area is lit. Now that's a road flare doing that. They last, from what I've read, about 5 minutes when you throw them out. And that's a major source of light, but of course it's a double-edged sword. It can give away your position to other players, which seems to be the bigger threat in this game. The strange thing is I actually didn't run into many zombies at this town. Whether they were cleared out by players ahead of time, I'm not sure. We may run into some later, but I just couldn't see a single one. I had heard a few, but I never really saw them. But right now, again, this is just me being tactical on my own. Just, you know, how can I survive and watch out for myself? Trying to keep on the sneak and stealth around this city as we get closer to the light. Now I'm thinking it's probably not a good idea, but I'm actually hoping to find a friendly survivor to tag along with me. Because, I mean, let's face it, if this were real, being by yourself, I mean, you know, defending yourself against bandits or an enemy human being or a hostile human being, I should say, is just, you know, going to be a nightmare, let alone dealing with zombies. But here I am again, and I hear more flies, which means another dead player body. And as you can see there, there's some zombie bodies actually glitching through the building, and I seem to have found a 1911 pistol, which actually one of my favorites. Just laying there, and I'm looking at it. I was like, okay, well, I'll have to take a look at this, but I'm thinking I don't want to, you know, use my time to go through my inventory. I want to clear this area first. Here's these dead zombie bodies clipping through the stairway, and there appears to be a player body right there. So I'm thinking, okay, but there's also a flare. Who threw the flare? Was it him, or was it his shooter? So many things crossing through my mind here. I come back to grab this 1911 because I know it's a pretty mean pistol, at least in real life. 45 caliber. Eventually grab that, and I start to hear some things. I believe I hear some footsteps at this point. Now you can hear them there. So I know somebody's right up on me, and I'm like, well, this is it. You know, it could be kill or be killed, or I meet a friendly. You know, it is such a gamble. And I've never really played a game, I think, in my life where I've been in this type of situation where, I mean, usually the enemy has a different skin. Yeah, in some cases you're dealing with the bandit players, which they're forced to have a different skin, but in this case too, you could also be dealing with a survivor that looks just like you, or just that's plain clothes, and you'll have no idea. None. It could be a new player, but they're just out to get people. You never know, and that's what's actually even more terrifying than dealing with the zombies, which in some cases kind of sucks, because you'd think that this is like a survival horror game. The threat is the zombies, you know. Whether you watch a TV show like The Walking Dead or a movie or whatever, typically the main threat is the infection, the zombie. Then there's always that human element they throw in there to say, well, you know, you might have to deal with this person. But in this game, it seems like it's a little biased towards the PvP, which hopefully will get remedied one day. But as you can see there, as I was going to go down the ladder, another flare goes out, which means this guy is active. He's still out there. And I'm just on this top position. There we go. We sight him. And apparently he thinks he's going to a rave. He lights a glow stick, which is going to be something that he can carry with him and illuminate a little bit of the area. But it lights him up like a Christmas tree. And I'm thinking to myself, I could have taken him. You know, boom, shot. Maybe I'd have missed. I don't know, but I could have had him. And I decided not to shoot him because I'm not a douchebag. And, you know, maybe it's a mistake, and I guess I'll find out. But this is just one of those decisions you got to make. And it's kind of similar to just a real decision. It's tough having to make these real-time decisions. And that's what I'm thinking through my head as this guy walks up on my back. I'm like, oh, hey. As I, you know, forget to use how to use my chat commands there. I mean, that's the thing. Like, all these things were going through my mind as I'm talking to you guys. It's the same way as it was in game. Guy just, I mean, he could have offed me easily, but he didn't. So obviously he wasn't hostile. But this is a different guy. This guy doesn't have a glow stick. And at the time, I was using the in-game voice communication to use basically the direct chat so that he could hear me locally. I don't believe that I got a response from this guy. I believe he's Kramen in the chat there that you can see, asking me if I need supplies. But the thing is their names aren't over their bodies, so you don't know who you're dealing with. You can't hover over them, and at the point I was trying to, but I didn't know that you couldn't, so it just says the greetings player thing. But so it's kind of hard to realize. You kind of have to talk to each other in the chat or the side chat. I think I could have used direct chat, but again, I just wasn't familiar enough with it, and I tried to use my microphone instead at the time. So I'm like, well, okay. I remember speaking to him. I was like, do you have a plan where you're headed? And, you know, I just didn't get much of a response. So obviously he's headed down the ladder backwards. And then we run into Mr. Glowstick, who just comes around the corner. Obviously he's not hostile either. And all of a sudden we kind of have a party of 3 total. And we're just kind of hanging out, looking around. And also, by the way, if some of you guys who are in the chat of this game were talking to me and I didn't answer you, I apologize, but I really wasn't paying attention to a lot of the chat. So, my bad on that part. And so, here we were. 3 musketeers, I believe. And then we go around the corner, actually, and manage to find a 4th. This guy here, who I do actually get some working voice chat via the direct communication method.
I only found this gun, nothing in it.
So as you can hear there, he told me he just found that weapon. He didn't have much on him.
Yeah, revolver.
So he said he had no ammo. He said he just found that gun. I'm like, okay, I don't get that. I don't know where all his stuff went, but I decided to give him some ammunition for his pistol that he apparently just found. He has no backpack either, so really not sure how he lost all of that equipment. Maybe he got robbed. But at this point, the voice comms were at least working for him. Doesn't seem to always work, and not for everybody, but... So he's loaded up. Mr. Glowstick here is just chilling. Our other guy is around as well. Now, at this point, we're going downstairs because I had told the guy I just give the ammo to, man, let's go get you some gear. There's a body down here. Let's go check it out for some loot. So I'm thinking maybe he could at least... I see the backpack there. I'm telling him, yeah, at least get that backpack so you can have a pack and get some other stuff. Shot fired. I didn't really pay much mind to it. Shots inbound. I'm telling them, get down. Shots fired. They're hitting the walls all around. If the guy is down... Downey Stram, I believe is his name. The guy who I just gave ammunition. Took a shot to the head or something like that, and he's fracking down. I'm yelling at these guys over the voice thing, you know, get down, take cover. I don't know if they can hear me. I'm just trying to check my corners. It's dark out. We can't see anything. Trying to just verify my friendlies. I can't tell who's who. You know, we got my 2 guys there. And I'm looking at the body of the guy, you know, I'm just thinking, man... Because I see like there's a blood effect coming out of him. I'm like, yeah, can we save him? Is he dead? Is he unconscious? And then there's a guy in the room. There's a guy in the room there. I'm like, okay, he didn't shoot. That's obviously a friendly. I'm trying to verify who this guy might be. Check my back. He starts shooting. Shots fired. I'm hit bad. I take a prone posture. I let him have it with a burst to the arms, and I think the other guy actually finishes him off with a pistol shot. I thought he was friendly. Like I don't know why he didn't shoot me the first time, and then he decides to shoot me the second time. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing that's the guy that took out our other friendly. But we take him out. We get some revenge. Unfortunately, it looks like this guy's toast. And I felt horrible because I was the one who said, let's go downstairs and get you some equipment. Because he had no gear. I wanted to go get him some stuff. So I told him, you know, we'd cover him. And unfortunately, we failed at that. And he's gone. He has to start all over with another character. And I'm bleeding out. And I start to bandage myself. Now here's the part basically where I wasn't familiar how to handle the health aspects with this mod, and like, so I had to, okay, I bandaged myself. I'm thinking maybe I'm alright. This guy looks like, I don't know if he's applying a bandage to himself or me. I couldn't really tell what was going on. But I thought, okay, I may have lost some blood, but I think I'm going to be okay here. And I'm just kind of at this point in shock, like trying to just getting my bearings of what's going on. Check these outside areas. See if there's any other shooters. I'm only with this one guy. There's another guy that was with us that's kind of just running around at this point. There's... I don't know if that was the last glow stick guy or if that was somebody else. He runs off. And I'm just all of a sudden in this unconscious mode, which... This is actually the first time I'd seen this. I think the first time I ever died, I just got insta-killed, and that was it. I had never seen this screen, except for perhaps in some other people's videos. Apparently, this is like an unconscious state where I didn't know if I was bleeding out or if I was going to die the second this broken hourglass finishes up. Because obviously the graphic is messed up there, but... So I thought, okay, this thing's going out, I'm dying, but there's another guy around there. I'm hoping that maybe he's fixing me up, bandaging me or something. I really didn't know what was going on. I thought I was dead. And all that's going through my mind is like, well, I'm going to lose all that equipment that I found today off of like 2 or 3 different bodies. There goes that. I said, well, put that to good use. But I come back up. I'm like, oh, I'm okay. He must have fixed me or something. And then there's an option to take painkillers. I'm like, yes, please. I take painkillers that I apparently had. I guess he was fixing me up, so thank you very much. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I still remain in critical condition. Will I survive? Probably not. But stay tuned anyway, and we'll find out together. Take care, guys.